Everyone, welcome to Pipes, Tobacco, and Whiskey. So today I wanted to share my thoughts on tasting notes for particular tobaccos. This is going to be one of our Tobacco 101 sessions, and today we're going to talk particularly about Virginia tobaccos. So Virginia tobaccos are really known for their natural tangy sweetness and really great potential for aging. Um, Virginias are amongst the most used tobaccos in the pipe world. I mean, you can find Virginia tobaccos mixed with just about any other type of tobacco. Um, Although they do really, really well by themselves with straight Virginia blends, you can see them anywhere from mixed with Burleys, mixed with Perique, mixed with Latakia, mixed with Orientals. And so it's a very popular um, tobacco that is used in the pipe world. Now, there's different categories of Virginia tobaccos. And a lot of the categories are used by the color of the leaf. So one of the colors that you have is called a yellow or a lemon leaf. That leaf is grown on the tobacco plant at the very bottom. That's where those lemons come from. And kind of in the center, you get your oranges, and at the top of the plant, you get your red Virginias. There's also a lot of different ways that Virginias are cured. They use flue curing is one way that they use. Some Virginias are stoved. There's all sorts of different things that kind of bring out or subdue different flavor profiles that you're looking for on the leaf. People talk about mature Virginias. They're talking about basically a Virginia that has been aged. Empire, we just had a new blend come out from C&D called Midnight Orchard that uses Empire Virginias. And that basically means that it's grown in a region that is or formerly was under the British Empire. So lemons, yellows, golds, the taste profile that you should expect from those is basically a kind of citrusy, lemony taste with a little light sweetness on it. Then you move up to kind of like the browns, which usually give you kind of an earthy note or maybe even a bready or cereal note. Brights can be responsible for the grassy or the hay note that you get in Virginias. And sometimes I get that in oranges and even yellows sometimes as well. Reds, to me, are kind of a tangy sweetness, has a really nice thick smoke, and it's a deeper flavor profile than the others. I tend to, when I smoke Virginias, I tend to smoke lots of reds. That's kind of up my alley. Virginia tobaccos are mostly categorized by their color and their flavor profiles, which are primarily determined by how they are cured and processed. So Virginia is the general term, while the specific names kind of tell you about the color and the flavor. And an example of this is Bright Virginia, which is known for its light, sweet, and sometimes tangy flavors with citrus and tea-like notes. Dark Virginias, on the other hand, is kind of a darker, fruitier, spicier flavor profile as well. So here's a few breakdowns of terms that people use to describe Virginias. So the term Virginia is just a general term for the tobacco known for its sweet and mild flavor. And just because it's got the word Virginia in it doesn't mean it's only grown in Virginia. It's grown all through the tobacco belt in the United States. So we're talking about Virginia, We're talking about North Carolina, South Carolina, maybe even parts of Georgia, and farther north from Virginia, maybe even in Maryland or West Virginia, kind of in that area as well. But actually, a lot of popular Virginias are grown in Africa. So you've got Zimbabwe, Mozambique, all of those types of Virginias that are grown over there. There's Virginias that are grown in Brazil. There's Virginias that are grown in India. It just all depends on the climate that is conducive to growing that leaf. Now, bright Virginias is a tobacco that's cured in a way that maintains a light color and develops a lighter, sweeter flavor. Okay? Dark Virginias uses a curing process that can result in a darker color or a more complex, possibly fruitier and spicier flavor. Red Virginias is a type of Virginia tobacco that is often cured to a darker color, resulting in deeper and more bready flavors. Golden Virginias is a term that's often used in hand-rolling tobacco blends and variations in flavor and sweetness. Light Virginias refer to Virginias that have been lightly cured, resulting in brighter color and lighter, more delicate flavor. But some of these kind of are interchangeable terms with different things, like a golden Virginia or a light Virginia. Sometimes are explaining basically the same tobacco. Matured Virginias are Virginia tobaccos that have undergone a longer aging or curing process that leads to a more mellow and nuanced flavor profile. Stove Virginias is a type of Virginia that is cooked under high heat, resulting in a dark color and rich dark fruit, spice, and earthiness flavor profile. Old Virginia refers to Virginia tobaccos that have been aged for a longer period, resulting in a more developed flavor profile, so similar to matured Virginias. Dark-fired Virginias is a type of Virginia that has been subjected to a dark firing curing process, which results in a strong smoky flavor. Fine Virginias typically refers to a finely cut and ground Virginia tobacco often used in pipe tobacco blends. So the key difference lies in the curing and processing methods, which influence the color and the flavor of the tobacco. For instance, stove tobacco is cooked under high heat, leading to a dark color and a rich, fruity flavor, while bright Virginias is cured in a way that maintains the light color and develops a sweeter, tangier flavor. Okay, so let's talk about tin note just a little bit. What should you be smelling when you open up a tin of a Virginia tobacco? Well, a lot of that depends on what kind of Virginias are inside there. Okay, pure Virginia tobaccos are really known for their natural sweetness and tangy profiles, along with you get some depending on the tobacco, some like sweet aromas like honey or graham cracker, kind of a toasty breadiness, or even sometimes some cookies. Some Virginias give a smell of fresh hay, citrus, dark fruit like a raisin or a fig or even a prune. And depending on which kind of Virginia you have in there will dominate the tin note as far as that goes. So some of the Virginias, like bright Virginias or yellow Virginias, mostly what you're going to get is kind of a grassy, slightly citrusy, and sweetness from it, okay? And if you like that profile, something that I could recommend in that genre would be the Mac Baren Virginia No. 1. Now, I know Mac Baren is no longer producing, but you might be able to find some tins of that stuff around. Another one is an orange or red Virginia, which smells like a toasted bread or a dark fruit, has a rich, tangy edge to it. Some popular blends with that would be the Sutliff Crumble Cake Red Virginia, sweet and savory. So some have a sweet and savory smell to it, which is kind of an earthy, honey-like finish to it. Some popular brand that reflects that kind of a smell is the Peter Stokkebye Luxury Navy Flake. You might get something with those 10 notes off of those. So tasting notes. What should I be tasting when I'm smoking Virginia tobaccos? Well, one of the things about Virginias are that they're really prized for their high natural sugar content. And also they have a delicate tea-like subtlety to it. So depending on how the leaf is cured, you should taste a spectrum of sweet and savory notes ranging from bright citrus and fresh hay to dark fruits and toasted bread, depending on what's dominant in that blend. Some specific tasting notes that you might get, for instance, in bright or lemon Virginias, you would get kind of a light, zesty, natural sweetness. You could expect some sharp, tangy notes of citrus, maybe lemon or lemon peel or orange peel, some grassiness, and maybe like a bergamot or a green tea kind of taste from it. Red Virginias are going to give you much richer and deeper flavors. You can look for warm and savory flavors like freshly baked bread, some toast, graham crackers, kind of a sweet and tangy finish in there, and maybe even some dried dark fruit, or even a ketchupy, barbecue-y kind of taste to it as well. Now, when you get into tobaccos that have been processed, like a stoved Virginia or a black Virginia, the sugars in those have been caramelized through heat. So you're going to taste kind of a molasses, maple syrupy, maybe even a dark chocolate, a fig, or a prune kind of flavor in those. Some tips for smoking Virginias. I know a lot of us have experimented with this, and most of you may be familiar with this already. But first of all, you've got to smoke Virginias pretty slowly. Virginias require a slow, gentle cadence, and if you puff too quickly, the sugars burn away. And all that really does is just leave you with a lot of harsh, hot, and tasteless air or smoke. And so take your time with it, smoke it nice and slow. There's a thought process out there that you should dedicate certain pipes to Virginia smokes. And because of their nuanced profiles, Virginia blends are best smoked in dedicated pipes. I am a believer of that, but there is a train of thought out there that says it doesn't matter. You definitely want to stay away from pipes that have been smoked with lots of Latakia in it or aromatics, because those will ghost the pipe and it will cover up some of those flavor profiles that you're looking for in the Virginias. The sweetness is a natural sweetness. It is not with a casing. Now, some Virginias do come with a casing, and so you have to kind of be careful that you can kind of differentiate between the two. So Virginia pipe tobacco has one of the cleanest, brightest, and most nuanced flavor profiles in the pipe world. Now, there are a lot of blends out there that also add things like Perique or Burley or Orientals, and that's a story for another day. Right now, I'm just talking about straight Virginia, okay? Straight Virginia tobaccos. So what are some of the most popular Virginia pipe blends? I went out and did some research for you guys to kind of give you an idea of what are the most popular straight Virginia tobaccos out there. And so some of them, depending on what Virginias are included, give you different flavor profiles. But the most popular ones like let's say for instance you want something that's bright and maybe a classic Virginia that showcase kind of a clean, grassy, citrusy side of the Virginia leaf. Some of the most popular ones out there are Orlik Golden Sliced, which give you a light, citrusy, grassy, and it's one of the most smoked Virginias ever made. Another one is the Capstan Blue Flake. Smooth, refined, slightly sweet. J.R.R. Tolkien used to smoke that. That was his smoke. The Gawith Full Virginia Flake. Deep, rich, earthy, and is a benchmark for the straight Virginias. The McBaron Virginia No. 1, which is not made anymore, but you can still find it. Sweet, approachable, and honey-like. So red Virginias, what are some of the most popular red Virginias out there? They're known for their breadiness and their tanginess and dark sweet character. If you can get your hands on it, some McClellan 5100 Red Cake, legendary. It's got tangy, it's got some ketchupy notes in it, but it is an iconic red Virginia that everyone treasures. C&D Carolina Flake. This is the modern standard now for red Virginias, and it's very rich and very tangy. I do find that this blend, though, C&D Carolina Red Flake, needs to sit and age for a while because coming straight out of the tin, it is kind of a sharp flavor. C&D Opening Night is a pure Virginia flake with red, natural red leaves in it. It's very tangy, has a slight maltiness to it. Really good example of red Virginias. Stoved or dark Virginias. What are some good blends for that? Again, the McClellan Dark Star was dense, rich, molasses-like. Of course, like I said, it's difficult to find, but if you do find it, it's one that everybody loves. The Sutliff 507S Stoved Virginia. Discontinued, used to be a bulk blend, but it was known for its dark, smooth sweetness. You could probably still find some out there. GL Peace Union Square. Pure Virginia that ages into dark, rich powerhouse. This is a very, very bold and flavorful blend that is still available. So some other forms, most Virginias that we see now are cut in ribbon form, but you can also find it in flakes and in coins. And those are some of my favorite because they've been heat treated and kind of artificially aged, pressed, and they seem to really have a nice flavor profile to it. So they're balanced and sweet, and they're perfect for aging. So what are some of the ones out there? Now, some of these are not pure Virginias. Like, for instance, the Escudo Navy Deluxe. That is a Virginia Perique, but it's really popular because of its Virginia sweetness. The Savinelli Doblone d'Oro are coins with warm, sweet Virginia and subtle depth. And the Davidoff Flake Medallions, very smooth, very creamy, very refined. Some other modern favorites that some are difficult to find because Sutliff is not around anymore, but the Sutliff 515 RC. Man, you talk about a great copy of the McClellan 5100. This red Virginia made by Sutliff, which used to be a bulk blend, is the closest thing I found to a McClellan blend. The 507C Virginia Slices by Sutliff was affordable, sweet, grassy flake, perfect for cellaring. Of course, Sutliff is out of business, so trying to find it, you might have a little bit of a search going on right there. C&D for Virginia Flake, straightforward, honest Virginia flavor. Nothing wrong with that, ages well. So here's a question that I get a lot from folks. What shapes of pipes do Virginias do the best in? And I think the pipe shape does matter. Um, Virginias burn hotter and faster and sweeter than maybe Burleys or English blends. So the best shapes are the ones that cool the smoke, slow the burn, and enhance the sweetness without getting a bite. So here's some of the best shapes that I think, and I've done some research online, that are for Virginia pipe tobaccos. First of all, the Dublin. It's got a conical bowl, narrows towards the bottom, so it slows the burn down and concentrates the flavors. It also enhances the natural sweetness of the bright and red Virginias. So Dublins are widely considered as the ideal shape for Virginia tobaccos. Another popular one is the apple. Round bowl is a cooler smoke, reduces tongue bite from the sugary Virginias, great for flakes and broken flakes. So if Virginia burns a little hot for you, then you might consider trying an apple. A Billiard, talk about a classic. Balanced geometry on that, very classic look. Medium chamber works perfectly for ribbon Virginias, and it gives a clean, honest flavor profile. It's a safe and reliable choice for any Virginia smoker. One of my favorites is the Canadian or the Lumberman or the Liverpools. Long shanks equal long, cooler smokes. Excellent for hot burning, bright Virginias, and they help preserve delicate citrus and hay notes. So if you smoke a lot of bright Virginias, that's a really good pick for you. A brandy is pretty popular as well. It's got a wide bowl, which enhances deeper, bready red Virginia notes. Smooths out some sharp edges. Great for aged Virginias and stoved blends. Okay, this is going to help bring out the dark fruit and bread side of Virginia. Bent billiards. Bents they help the bend in the pipe help cool the smoke before it reaches your mouth. Comfortable for long Virginia sessions and helps reduce the tongue bite. So it's a great all-day Virginia smoker. So to kind of round that out, what shape should you choose? If you want the maximum sweetness, choose a Dublin. If you want cooler smoke, choose a Canadian. If you want less bite, choose an apple. If you want a balanced flavor, choose a Billiard. And if you want that dark, deeper notes of the tobacco, choose a brandy. Okay, to close this out, I'm going to give you the smoking pipes top list of Virginias that you can go out and try. This is based on their sales, not necessarily any kind of opinions of other people outside of smoking pipe. So number one was actually Peterson Flake. The Peterson Flake is the quintessential Virginia flake. It's, a pressed Virginia tobacco. You're going to get, it's kind of a light color, so you're going to get kind of that citrusy hay kind of taste with that. Number two was Cornell and Diehl's Opening Night. So this is a combination of reds and bright Virginias and cut into flakes. Number three was the Wessex Campaign Dark Flake. And I am a big fan of anything that Kohlhaas and Kopp were a part of. And of course, Wessex falls under that. Wessex Campaign Dark Flake is a Virginia that's full-bodied and smooth. Cool thing about this one is that it's got that continual wrapped flake. So if you like that, this is one of those. It's kind of sweet, has a really nice depth to it. It's got dark fruit flavors and a tang alongside the fine bright accents. It doesn't stay on the shelves very long though, so if you want to try that one, need to put yourself on the mailing list at Smoking Pipes. They'll email you when it's available. Freiberg and Trayer Cut Virginia Plug. So this is a mixture of golden and orange Virginias, which have a kind of a complex natural sweetness and hints of lemon in it. It's got kind of a honey profile to it as well. Sam Gawith Full Virginia Flake, number 5. This one is a pretty full-bodied example of Virginias. It's hot pressed. It's a blended Virginia. It's got a distinctive dark color that kind of gives you a feeling of calmness, serenity. It's a very popular Virginia out in the community. Also, that Sam Gawith is really a traditional Virginia. I mean, it dates back to 1700s at least. Gawith and Hogarth, the Bright CR Flake. The thing about this one is that it's an example of using those other types of Virginias that are grown in other continents. It's got Brazilian, it's got Zimbabwe, it's got Malawi, bright leaf in it. All of those are pressed together and left to mature for a while before they cut it. It's nice and sweet. It's got an earthiness to it. It's got a unique flavor profile to it. Be careful because it does have a little bit of that Lakeland essence in it, which is very floral. The Sutliff 507C Virginia Slices. Man, I bought a bunch of that before they went out of business. Probably the ultimate in natural quality tobacco. It is 100% A1 bright matured Virginias, pressed and single cut in the classic British European tradition. It was a bulk blend, so it was very inexpensive. It's a flue cured Virginia, and like I said, the price point was just awesome on it. So we mentioned this one before, the Mac Baren Capstan Original Navy Cut. That's the one with the blue tin. It's got really select ripe Virginias in it with citrus and grassy notes, and a lot of natural sweetness in it. A lot of people think that this is a must try. If you've not tried this one, that you should at least buy a tin and give it a shot. You're going to get an example of a very straightforward, good Virginia blend. Number 9, GL Peace Union Square. So this one is a blend, and it's a flake of high-grade flue-cured leaves. It's got sweet, bright, deep, earthy reds in it, no added sugars, and very good example of what a common Virginia flake would taste like. It's rich on the palate, has layers of clean, natural sweetness and pure tobacco flavors. Great room note, really good finish. If you want a real good Virginia experience, pure Virginia experience, this one's a good one to try. Another one that's a good one to try that was in a bulk offering is the Newminster number 400 Superior Navy Flake. I'm not sure if they still make that one or not, if you can still get it. But if you can, that one is a bulk blend at a very, very good price and ages really nicely. All right, guys. Well, that's kind of a wrap up on what you should expect in the tin notes and the flavor profiles of Virginia tobaccos. I hope this was helpful for you. Let us know your thoughts. If you kind of got some other blends that you would suggest for people to try, please list those in your comments. We want to get a kind of a data bank going for all people that are new to the hobby, so that they can try some really classic superior Virginia blends. Next time we do a Tobacco 101, we're going to specifically talk about Perique tobaccos. So that'll be a little bit different than what we do now, because Perique is typically not a tobacco that you smoke by itself. It's a blending component that's used a lot with Virginias. You find it in a lot of Balkan blends. You even sometimes find it in Burley blends and Oriental blends as well. So that'll be our next Tobacco 101 talk. But this one for Virginias today, hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget, make all your piping moments count. We'll see you next time, and have a great week. So long.